State Bank and Trust has been invested in Winfield and Marion County for more than a century, and today we remain deeply committed to meeting the needs of local families and businesses with excellent financial products and friendly down-home service.
But more than that, we're dedicated to supporting the growth, success, and well-being of our community as a whole. Because when it comes right down to it, there's nothing more important than community.
And just like our outstanding city officials, police, and fire departments, you can count on State Bank and Trust to help make Winfield and Marion County a great place to live for everyone who calls this area home.
Let Pollard Motors in Winfield assist you with all of your automotive needs. With over 50 years in business, our company is built by trust and integrity and Larry's love for the people. Stop by and see Heath or Chip, or call us today at 205-487-3020.
Lee Hines here, owner-operator of Alexander's Heating and Air Conditioning. We've been family-owned and operated since 1954, proudly serving Marion, Fayette, and Lamar County. We are Carrier Factory authorized dealers, but service all makes and models. We specialize in residential and light commercial HVAC systems. So as we get ready to enter another hot Alabama summer, please remember Alexander's Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs.
Hey, this is Eric Simmons at Furniture Depot in Guin. We've been here in Guin for 10 years serving the needs of families like yours with furniture from Ashley, Serenity Sleep, Million Dollar Rustic. We have stores in Guin and Fayette. So come see me.
Crackers. We also have a good selection of barbecue grills. So come see us. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chris Nelson, owner of Nelson Boys Paint and Body LLC, located State Highway 129, Winfield, Alabama. At Nelson Boys Paint and Body, our goals are to meet your expectations in repairing or painting your vehicle. Stop by for a free estimate. Our services include glass replacement, small and large auto repairs, and we have top-notch paint booths for your painting needs. We take all insurance and can save you on your deductible. Come see us and let our over 40 years experience work for you. We're here to assist you and to help you on all your auto body and paint needs. Come see us.
Plan your perfect stay at the Holiday Inn in Guin off of I-22. Enjoy our amazing on-site restaurant and bar with a lunch buffet every Sunday. Relax with a quick getaway with your family and make a splash in our outdoor pool. Book your next event with us. Call us at 205-468-4625.
Who is? Okay. He's not here, is he? Okay. Oh, so you're letting me aware of it. Okay. All right. Bad that was. Only thing is you don't stick on to it. Stick to it.
All right, we got two bids for the fuel purchase, for the fuel purchase patrol cars and park equipment in the street department and the fire department. I guess we might use it in the car that the city hall uses. First bid that I'm opening is going to be from Moore Petroleum, 620 Midway Drive. Everybody had a sheet to fill out just like this. That's what we required it to be, which states the bid for diesel fuel and the bid for regular gasoline and the 24-hour, 7 days a week location. And if that location offers diesel and if it offers regular unleaded gas. And then the physical address of each location that fits that criteria. The criteria is a 24/7 and that it does have diesel, on-road diesel and regular unleaded E10 gas. The first bid, like I said, was Moore Petroleum. Diesel fuel is 0.09 per gallon over rack price for the number 2 low sulfur diesel. And the same on the regular unleaded 87 octane minimum, 0.09 per gallon on E10 ethanol. So it's 9 cents a gallon on gas and diesel for Moore Petroleum. And the locations, of course, is more. Locations more is B&B, 2116 Bankhead Highway. That's east of town here. Bud's Pure 670 Highway 43, which is south of town. Highway 129, 7015 State Highway 129, which is we all know is that's a truck across the truck stop at exit 30. Shell Food Mart at 2303 US Highway 43. The next bid is going to be from Mayors and Company. We call them Mid-State, but it's Mayors and Company is how this bid's coming in under that name. Their bid is the same sheet as the other one. Fill out 0.105 per gallon over rack price on number 2 ultra low sulfur diesel, 0.105 on diesel, and the gasoline regular unleaded minimum 87 octanes, 0.105 per gallon. The locations is Winfield Truck Stop, 7016 State Highway 129, Winfield Texaco 391 Bankhead Highway, Winfield Chevron 2463 US Highway 43. So you got 2 bids. You got one that's 10.5 cents and one that's 9 cents on both. Based on those bids, it's my recommendation to the council that we go with a low bid, being a local business here in town. I'm open for whatever the council thinks. That'd be the 9 cents per gallon. Ask for a motion.
Second.
All in favor? That gives more control in there. That will start first day of October 1. Next item on the agenda is C3 Tom Weismiller, I guess that's how you say it. He wasn't really notified that we was going to have him on the agenda, so we'll table that and we'll notify him. We'll put it back on the agenda, James, for the second meeting in September. The next item on the agenda is going to be resurface the walking track / tennis court. We got Gina. You got any information on that?
I have the same information that has been emailed to you previously. I did reach out to the company and ask them, since this bid in November, if it had increased, and it has, they couldn't give me a quote that quickly on how much it had increased. But we had talked about also resurfacing it with concrete, because the Tiger tracks would be the same price as the concrete and just do half the court.
Right.
And it's not guaranteed today.
You remember what that estimate was on concrete?
We had 2 different bids that I gave you.
I don't remember what it was.
I know that concrete has increased quite a bit since then.
You got any kind of ballpark figure?
I'm thinking between 20 and 30,000.
I was gonna say 22 or 23,000, I believe is what it was, to concrete the, has any council had a chance to check the status of how that track is, the shape that it's in? Does anybody use it?
It's like
Quotes from previous, like tennis court is too.
Yeah, they both, that's been that way a while.
And that would be adding pickleball as well. Pickleball is exploding something terrible.
Yeah, that's, I think that would be a plus if we could get that, to go ahead and add that sport in that, at the same time, get it set up to where we could, utilize the whole thing and add that other sport to it.
You get us firm price by next meeting.
I will do my best.
I mean, the estimate that we got, that's not the estimate, the first estimate, is it?
It's the revised estimate.
Since we've discussed
It's the
it?
first estimate.
Okay.
So, this one's still from November, though. It has changed since then.
Yeah. It'd be a combination of
The east side would be just tennis, the west side would be tennis and two pickleball courts.
it'd be, what I'm saying, it's gonna be these two figures together to do both.
No, sir, those are different options.
Oh, okay. You don't see that probably like it too.
If you add option 3, that is adding the tiger tracks on top of, which is the surfacing, which the concrete would take to replace them.
And the two tennis courts, and that would be the.
So it goes from that to that.
Yeah.
How long does it take them to do it? When can they get to this?
If you got on the list now, it would be the spring because of the temperature requirements and stuff, getting it done. One unforeseen thing that you might think about is the fence that's around it. If we get into concrete and redoing it, the fence may need to be looked at because it's kind of leaning.
That's what you're saying, it's gonna be a little bit different, yeah. You see it there, yeah. Since it's gonna be spring, I think I'm like James, go ahead and reach out to them and get us another. Is that the only, didn't you get more than one bid, or one bid other than that the last time?
So that's the only company that we could find that would bid on it. That's not a common thing, an actual tennis court resurfacing
Right.
group.
I think I'd asked you before, is there a possibility of grant money for any of that?
If you have a high school tennis team, there's a lot of grant money, because we could share the court with the school department. But not having an actual tennis team kind of puts us in a bad situation with grants.
Huh?
Qualifies for care of that. Outside facility. Let's do it.
How much was the walking track?
How much was it? Do you remember what it was?
I haven't had the price you know, we were talking about getting the paving crew to do the walking track at the same time.
Well, they're gonna be a bid opening, I think it's Monday, on these roads that we have. They're gonna open the bids, I might can, get a price then at this,
It's a quarter mile.
because we'll,
13.
it's wide, how wide?
It's 10 or 12 feet.
That's gonna be pretty wide.
Probably
At
10,
least,
I
at
think.
least 10.
I can
5
measure.
lanes, I think.
I think that'd be the time.
It'd be a little hard to get the asphalt truck and everything down through there and do it on the road.
Sir?
That's gonna be a little harder done than just the road.
Yeah, that's why I want to look at it.
May have to dig that one up. You know, it's gonna be,
Yeah, I'm gonna, if it's on, I will anyway, I'll get them to, when they come, when we have the bid opening, I'll take up everyone who's here representing the company to go.
Mayor, I know this is a broken record, but there's drainage underneath there that has caved in from when the track was installed. So when we resurface the track, I would like to
We're gonna fix
redo
it.
that drainage.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pave over it yet, so. Yeah, that's why we did all, that's why we replaced culverts like crazy before we went to that last paving project.
are there any drains in the center?
That's the drainage. on
That's the one she's talking about.
Is it one, I mean,
There's
Okay.
at least 2, 4.
So I'll take care of the asphalt, getting the price on the asphalt to fix the walking track. If you can reach out to this company and get us another revised, figure and see if they, I mean, they may, I mean, see if they'll give a figure now that'll be good for the time when they do it, if they,
Well, once you sign the contract, it's locked in.
okay. All right. We'll do that then.
Will we need to take bids on the concrete or wait till closer to time since the price fluctuates?
I think we can, I think that I mean, we still got time to do the concrete this year. I think we'll go ahead and get bids on it. If that's okay with the council, let us do that and we'll come back. Our next item on the agenda is police secretary hire full-time. Brett, you got some information you'll share on that?
Yes, sir. First off, I'd like to thank Angie for helping me go through this. Has been we had several applicants put in, several good applicants, and she helped me go through them, and it took us about 3 days over a set of time, and then the interview. But we came up with Miss Shelley Lauderdale. She's here tonight. I asked her to come be in attendance in case you guys had any questions. She's got 14 years of administrative assistant experience. One of the key things for me was Word, Excel, PowerPoints, things of that nature, because that's the primary things that we use. She came having a knowledge of all of these, and a couple that we didn't use. It was a very good interview. She's been at where she's employed at now for 8 years, and her resume speaks for itself. She hasn't had several jobs. Where she goes, she stays. And I told her that we'd be lucky to have her. The council so see fit to hire her.
Council got any questions for Brett? No questions based on his recommendation in the interview process with him and Angie. It's my recommendation that we move forward with that hire. I need to ask for a motion to.
Motion.
Got it, Ed, and second, but you, all in favor? Starts when?
Her start date is the 14th.
14th. Have we discussed pay?
We have.
So we're all that's in place. The secretarial position that we had in that, has anything changed as far as the pay scale of what we already had?
No, sir, I don't think so.
Okay, well, you got your pay scale there, can you show it to Brett and make sure that we're on the same page with what's in that, because I don't want us to come back and have a discussion about it.
The pay was in the job posting.
Oh, it was, well, the pay was in the job posting, as you said.
Yeah, I think it was posted.
Okay.
Oh, no, hold on. It was posted on the, that was the whole one. That one, and then that one. That's the. That's this, that's.
If it's what we posted.
I think it's what we posted.
Start 13, top 17.
Oh, well, no, that's,
So give me the thing.
oh, yeah, that's right.
All right,
That's
so
what
we're
was
good, we're on the same page?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just her on the back here. We look forward to you being an employee for the city, and
Thank you.
they'll take care of you on that side. Brett and them seems to be very good to work with. Pleasure to have you.
Thank y'all.
Yep. Next item on the agenda is going to be park hire, senior citizen bus driver part-time. You got, Gina, you got somebody, what you got?
We have got Miss Renee Moore. She is a retired educator for many years. She's with us tonight. This is Miss Moore. Had a really good interview, interviewed several, but she was by far our choice, and I think that she'll do a great job keeping Susan in line. I think she'll do a great job keeping Susan
Yeah,
in line.
I thought somebody was getting in a fight over or something, heard it drunk.
I have her application if y'd like to see it.
This is a senior citizen part-time, this senior citizen bus driver is part-time. Is this a fill-in part-time, or is this a full-time part-time?
This is full-time, part-time, year-round part-time, I think it's time.
Yeah, 20-something hours, 26 hours.
Depending on how many more we add to homebound, we're making 2 different trips now because of the volume of how many we've added. There's a need there.
Okay. All right, well, based on Gina and them's interview process, it's my recommendation that we go by their recommendation to hire her as a part-time senior citizen bus driver. Keith made a motion, Gina second, all in favor. Pleasure to have you driving our bus. Maybe you'll be a safer driver than the one sitting beside you there.
I have one more quick thing.
Susan needed some backup.
I did ask her to add a backup camera.
Don't always believe in cameras.
Susan didn't do that.
I did not do that.
You talk to use your mirrors, aren't you?
That's exactly right.
I've got one more quick thing there. The part was approved for a grant to buy AEDs for the senior center, the community center, and all 4 concession stands, but it only covered a percentage. So through RC&D, we were just notified that through Friends of the Park, we were awarded the rest of the monies to complete buying all those AEDs.
That's good.
So I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, me too. Saves our budget. Appreciate it. We look forward to you driving the bus for us there to keep that program.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Next item on the agenda is a budget discussion. Mike has prepared this budget, and I think all the council has had got copies of it to look over and been talked about. And I'll let Mike come up and give a 16-second presentation.
Two more than normal. You should have in your packet an updated. I'm going to give you a page that updates the update.
This is a rough draft.
Yes. Since the last meeting, I've added the cost of the 2 new police officers. There's been a few other adjustments made. I was married today from Theater and Main Street, and they submitted a rough draft of their budget. And so this has come in since your folders were prepared for tonight. So I went back and added the rough draft of the theater budget in. To the sheet I just gave you. So that changes the numbers on that page a little bit.
They don't change our overall numbers, does it?
It changed them for the better. Instead of about $194,000 surplus, it would put us about $197,000 surplus. So the theaters, you're well aware, normally only helps the budget.
Mm-hmm.
They break even or make a little. So their budget helps in the overall. But I would stress, and Mary, if I misspeak, you can tell me, this is a rough draft they've submitted to us. Their board has not approved this rough draft. So for that reason, out of respect for their board, I'm not asking tonight to pass the budget, just give you an updated copy. And to follow up a text I sent to each of you earlier today, to maybe look at loan payments tonight to see how you want to structure those in the new budget year. If you want to go with what I've recommended, or if you have a different thought on that. So if we want to do something different between now and the next meeting, I can go back, readjust those loan payments, and then I'm assuming by 2 weeks from tonight, the theater board would be able to meet, approve their budget.
On a couple of loan payments, if you double the payments, whatever, you're pretty much paying it off when you do it.
That's a good question, Mayor. I think I texted a copy of this to each of you, but if you're like me and you need a larger copy to look at, this gives you a breakdown.
Larger copy with smaller writing.
Well,
This one looks a lot bigger than that.
well, compared to the text I sent, it's easier to read than the text. What I would like to do on the loan payments, there are 2 payments that we just paid off probably in the last week or so that we've been paying double on this fiscal year. That's the ladder truck and the 2016 garbage truck. For the past year, we've been paying double. Those paid off probably Angie last week or week before. We have 3 main loans in addition to those. Currently, one is a ball field lighting loan. We've been paying double this current fiscal year on it. Right now, our balance on that loan is just under $110,000. We can keep paying double on it as we have, and that's about $56,000 a year. What I would ask you to consider is pay off that $110,000 in September. Get rid of that loan completely. It's currently at 2.64 finance rate. It's up to refinance in November. At that point, we would owe roughly $100,000 on it. I don't know what the rate would do in November. But yeah, I would think it would only go up. So if there's money in general fund and you saw fit to go ahead this month, pay that $110,000, get rid of that loan, it's done with. And that's how I've presented in the budget, as if we pay the loan off in September and you don't have that loan with Ballfield Lights beginning October 1 in the new budget year. Two other loans that the mayor mentioned. One is a police car loan. We're currently paid a little bit over $3,700 a month. It's due to pay off in June of 2026. If we were able to pay double starting in October on that loan, then we would pay it off roughly in September of 24, almost 2 years ahead. The other loan is a garbage truck, 2021 garbage truck. The way the budget is laid out, I have us pay triple payments on that each month. It's due to pay off in December of 28. If you paid triple, you paid off in September of 24. We've agreed to purchase a new fire truck. We're hoping March, roughly next year, to have it delivered and to take out a loan and to start paying. And that loan is estimated to cost us about $6,600 per month. Remember, we've been putting money in a CD of that amount each month. Long story short, you can take what we've been paying on loan payments this current fiscal year, $21,181 a month. You pay off the Ballfield lighting loan, you can add the fire truck payment, the police car payment, doubling it, tripling the garbage truck payment, and you're just under your $21,072. You're actually a little cheaper in loan payments this coming year than you would be the current year. But you're able to pay one loan off 2 years early and another one 4 years early. You still leave just under $200,000 surplus in the budget.
We approve it as you're proposing. Doing double and triple payments in March when the fire truck coming in, we start making payments on it. And there's 2.5% higher interest rate on it than it is on these other items. Rather than making double and triple payments on them, could we not take that excess and pay it on the bigger loan that's at a higher rate and cut it down faster?
I would think that's.
I mean, we just have to put on a spreadsheet with percentage and draw a line across this where.
Right. How to best spend the money based on the rate.
So,
So I mean, that's the council's call. If you say, let's do it this way to start, and you need to change.
How many times this past year have you transferred money into a CD out of the general fund?
Seemed like 3 times.
What was the
in the
amount
last
total?
12
Total
to 14
amount.
months. We were somewhere around 625. We're now a little bit over $1 million. So roughly, say, 375,000 that we transferred from general to CD.
Okay. By these other, the loans that's paying off, looks like you got, Ballfield lighting paying off in early 2022.
If we could pay it off in September.
Mm-hmm. Those payment, when you pay those off, that's gonna bring the payment amount that the city's paying out, gonna bring it down, and then by the way you're increasing it, you're taking the payment amount pretty much of what you're paying off and adding it back to another loan to keep it kind of staying the way it is.
Yes, sir.
I think that that's a good business doing it that way, but, just because it's not gonna really jeopardize the general fund level that the general fund's been maintaining, and then still be able to transfer money into CDs out of the general fund.
Right. Of course, you know, I always like to pay off early. I like to put money in the CD, and that helps our bond rating, the people that do that. If they see we're able to save money, put in a CD, that makes us look good in their eyes. I would go a step further to what James said. Once we get to March and the fire truck is ready to be delivered and we need to take out a loan, at that point to pay for the truck, if there's money in general fund then, if the truck's costing $660,000, if there's a way to pay part of that out of general fund and finance the rest, maybe pay $200,000 out of general and finance $460,000 instead of financing $660,000. That's a conversation maybe for another day.
Well, that's why I kinda look at it, because do you know what your interest rate is that you're gaining on that, $1 million CD?
I think we're right at 2%.
So, you know, it may be an offset to do it that way instead of putting the money back over into the CD and pay it to the loan to help get that loan.
This rate you got, 3.9 was the rate that they brought in here that we didn't approve.
Right.
That you can rest assured it's gonna be between 4.5 and 5.5 time spring comes.
Yeah.
So then you're gonna have a 3%, 3.5% spread on your CD, and that, it'd be well advised to take $200,000 out of CD and pay them.
And that was with a 10-year loan at that, for the full amount at the 3.9.
Possibly go to an 8-year loan with $200,000 down and still
Money ahead.
be way money ahead, not increase your payment either.
So if I'm getting the feeling, let's go sort of along these lines as far as budgeting, knowing we can change during the year if we need to. Instead of paying double, may need to go back to paying one payment a month instead of double.
Yeah, that's all we're legally obligated to, one payment.
Take the money and spend it elsewhere on a different loan.
You got borrowing that money against the CD or using the CD as collateral?
No, I don't, I mean, we hadn't never done that.
Why not? You get cheaper interest rate.
I don't really wanna give them two collaterals.
You won't be with one.
If they gonna release the collateral on the equipment, I mean, that's.
Yeah, but actually, they said that they were not using the truck as collateral on the bid, on the loan, the loan was just to the city.
Okay.
So there is no collateral loan.
Thanks.
My-
Uninsured loan.
My thought, 6 months before it actually happens, is not to take money out of the CD, take money out of the general fund to pay down the truck.
Good faith, see.
Yeah, it's not an unsecured loan. No.
No, city-
Full faith credit, and it's, they got an interest in the general fund.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're giving them the collateral of the general fund when you do the loan. You don't have to put a CD up against it, because they've got the general fund that they can attach.
Right.
So,
And if we actually get a better rate, they get a discount because they're loans to the city, cheaper than they would to anybody else. And it's to their advantage.
well, it's generally bank qualified, which saves them on taxes they have to pay on the loan, so.
If you have a general fund drawing, say, 0.5% interest, and a CD drawing 2%, and you have money in both, to take it out, to put it towards this fire truck loan, and reduce the total amount of the loan, I would recommend out of the general fund. The money's there, and it's a lower interest rate. Keep your CD money in the CD. So once again, that's 6 months down the road, but just trying to plan, look at some options for when we get there. Unless you've got specific questions, Drew, tonight was just the loan payments to get your feelings on those, and to ask we wait to pass a budget till the theater boards had time to let their members look over their budget. Maybe come back at the next meeting with.
We need to be ready to approve it next meeting.
Yes. If you see changes or questions, I'll try to answer tonight, or you can call or come by one day between now and the next meeting.
All right, thank you, Mike. The next item on the agenda is old business. Let me, on old business, if it's nothing that we've ever discussed, we don't need to bring it up for discussion till we have it under regular business and then bring it up under old business. So I don't want us to, there's been a time or two we've kind of discussed business that we haven't discussed in the past, and I don't want us to do that. I want us to make sure that it has been discussed in a prior council meeting. I want to make that it's been on the agenda before. I think we owe the, public citizens that it needs to be already on an agenda before we bring it up under old business. I don't want to bring up new business under old business. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But right quick, like I've got something that we have talked about under old business. It's been probably 2.5, 3 months ago. If the way time flies, could have been a little bit longer than that. We have talked about a senior aide position at the park, and we have had problems getting somebody that would meet the requirements to where we get funding from NACOG for that position. I don't know if y'all remember us talking about that aide position where NACOG pays. I think the city pays $1,000. Is that the number yearly?
That's what I've always understood.
It's yearly. It's $1,000 a year that we have to pay, and then NACOG pays the rest of it for that aide. They have got somebody that's qualified, that has put in, shows an interest for that position to be that aide. Our senior program is steady growing at the park, at the community center. And I feel like if Susan wants to speak on behalf of that, on who you're looking at hiring or who's showed an interest in that position, if you want to discuss it, if I got any questions for you.
Her name is Miss Melissa Millwood. I've known Melissa 20 years, and through that time, well, longer than that, about 30, and through that time have worked with her. She's a very sweet person. She has sat with the elderly the last 10 to 15 years, and the lady she sat with had passed away this weekend. And she said, I just want something to do, and she knew about this program and had actually approached Brilliant about it. But Brilliant is not where they can put any more on, so she called me. And I told her, to let me talk with y'all, but we had been trying to do it. And if it was, there's days that if it was not for Gina, Reggie, the guys, and Sandy, I don't know what I'd do.
That's what I'm saying, the program keeps growing.
Yeah.
One of the problems I think that you've had before in getting somebody in this position is, can you just say what the pay is for this position?
It's minimum wage. But where the problem has come in at is through this program is the requirements that NACOG has.
That's what I wanted you to let them know why we're having problems getting somebody in that position is because of the pay and the requirements. It's
right.
hard for them to meet both.
Right.
So tell them a little bit what the requirements are, if you know what some of the requirements.
You have to be 55 and basically only draw on Social Security.
And the income requirement there is so low that you can't find anyone that meets it. We've tried for years.
Yeah, you had to, when we were still driving the bus together, you were telling me find somebody, and we tried. And we could not find anybody that showed interest that met the requirements. And this is the first time, and I've been there, I think February will be 8 years that I've been director. This is the first time I've had somebody come to me that met the requirements.
Yeah, I mean, that age and Social Security being the only thing that you can draw on, then getting paid minimum wage, there's not too many applicants out there for that.
No.
And that makes you wonder why they set it that way, knowing that there's not gonna be anybody to apply for it to mount. But tell them how many members, senior age, people that you've got coming that you're having to work with.
Right now, we're doing 54 homebound. I've got fixing to be 7 on frozen. And I've laughed since Gina had been sick with COVID a few days ago. It's like we've exploded. We've been having close to 20 every day in Concord. And it's just like it's just exploded the last few days. Mike has put on the water bill and announcing about it. They put on the garbage. The water department put it on the water bill. I don't know if y'all noticed it or not. And we have had gobs of calls. We're having 4 or 5 calls a day. People interested.
Lots of new faces coming.
Lots of new faces. And that's what I've worked for 7 years, is to get this, and we're seeing growth.
Well, I mean, it's only stand the reason why you would is because of the way the economic times is and what everything's costing everybody. It's just like when we have a cold winter, which I think we're supposed to have this time, you're probably gonna get more because it's gonna take so much income to pay the gas and the heat bill.
I agree. I do agree.
I mean, they're on a budget, very tight budget with the money that they get every month. So I feel like that's gonna only be more this winter, especially because I feel like it's supposed to be a cold, bad winter.
And I'm hoping that's getting Renee in place, that we're gonna be able to, put back on some more homebound. My homebound had got up to about 65, but with the turnaround we've had there, I've not tried to replace them because it has been all we could do.
Based on that, I just want to share a little bit, because it's been a while since we discussed that, and we finally got somebody that would fit that criteria that they're asking for. So based on that, I'd like to see the council to give me a motion to allow her to hire her in that position. Tim and Gina second, all in favor? Just go ahead and set it up and get the NACO and get it all set up. So, another thing on old business for me for is the paving. I mentioned a while ago that we're supposed to open bids Monday. I think this coming Monday for the projects that we have approved for paving. We've got 2 companies that I think turned in bids to, that's ST Bond and Central, which we reviewed them both. So that brings that brings you up to speed on that a little bit. And we're working with, they're supposed to meet this week. I've been talking with Luke Porter. We still have the hole, on Midway Drive down here between Red Light and Moore Petroleum, where the culvert has sunk. FEMA's given us, helping aid with that, fixing that project that we got there. But we're having a little bit of a right of way. The city's going to purchase just a little bit of right of way to fix that the way it needs to be. Luke's working with the 2 landowners, one's on each side. Landowners on both sides of the road. He don't really think that that's going to be a big problem, but the city may have to pay a little bit for right of way right there to correct that problem. That's probably all the old business that I've got, I guess. James, you got any old business?
It's been a while since I brought it up, and I think it's Eagle Street. You turn Baptist Church goes in there, the house that had all the
Animals
is grown worse. I mean, it's almost twice as bad as it was. Somebody needs to address it. We're running out of room to put the animals.
I think there was a complaint rolled out about that, wasn't there?
Yeah, a couple of them. One of the problems we have on the community action forum, when it comes back down to the, abatement board, is it abatement and zoning together, is it just abatement, weed and litter and abatement board? That's one board, isn't it? It's separate from the zoning board, or is it? It's a separate board. Enforcement, I mean, that's where, we kicked this around and kicked it around, and these boards don't pay anything for anybody to be on those boards. And the problem we have is having, anybody on the board with the initiative to carry out the steps that has to go, that we need to go through on any of those type issues. Just like the issue that we had here a while back in Carter Estates with a house that had been burnt, and we went through one or two steps, got to step 4, and it kind of stalemated. And then we kind of jumped step 9, skipped from 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that was not the right way, the proper way to do it, and you go through all the steps.
DHR is involved. In another agency. If that, for that particular space, if you'll give us just a couple of weeks, it's just getting to the door.
Yeah, but we'll run into it again if we don't have, proactive, what I'm gonna call it a proactive board, board, and it takes, of time, given of time or whatever, and Todd can relate to this just a little bit, but on those boards, does there have to be, and does there need to be a city employee on that board? That's been a question for me too. If it's kind of a conflict of interest, or if it needs to be an employee of the city, and how that, if it,
The way I see it is, if we have a city ordinance against, we don't need a board. City ordinance is like a law and needs to be enforced.
well, look, Todd, you got steps you gotta go through though, and it's a process. Who are you gonna designate to do those, to set out those processes?
Well, we can't let it just keep on going when we set up procedure on it.
I'm totally right behind you. Set it up, and I'll be right there with you.
There is.
Yeah, but the problem is following through. Okay, let me just take this for instance. Let me just throw this out here. Okay, you got a city employee. I'll just use one for an example. We got a city clerk. Okay, we're gonna put this on the city clerk's position. You're on this board now. I don't know if the clerk can be on that board because I just asked if it's gonna be a city employee or not, but I don't know if it can be the clerk on that board or not. But let's just say the clerk serves on that board. Okay, she's got all she can do already, but we're gonna ask her to keep up with the 10 steps you got to go through enforcing this ordinance. Okay, we're gonna ask her to do it for the same pay that she's doing it for. Is that included in her job title when we hired her? When we hired her or appointed her as a clerk, did we say that you have to maintain and carry out this weed and litter ordinance? Was that discussed? When we got a city administrator over here, we're gonna put it on him. We're gonna say, okay, now you got this, you need to take care of this ordinance and you need to go through these steps. What I'm saying is we have not put it on anybody to say this is your job and this is in your duty and this is in your line of work that we hired you to do. Now I'm asking the council to put it on somebody. That's what I'm doing. I don't want everybody looking at me like the mayor's not doing his job, making sure the ordinances took into place. Because I'll go through the steps and I'll jump 6 of them if I need to get it done. But I don't think that's how we need to do it. I think it needs to be a process that's done correctly for everybody, not just this one particular one or this one particular one. It needs to be done the same every time, for every instance. And that's what I'm saying. Who do we want to put it, whose back do we want to put it on? I'll handle it any way the council wants to handle it.
If we've got procedures in line and all we're lacking is somebody to check off right here, check off right here, check off right here, check off right here, I'll make the motion to let Mike do it.
Do you need to discuss that with Mike, or you're gonna put it on Mike and the council vote to say, okay, the city administrator's gonna take this in this position? Because we've discussed it a little bit, Mike, we've discussed it in this discussion a little bit. He may not feel comfortable saying like a structure. He don't feel comfortable saying this structure is not sound, it needs to be tore down, and then start through the steps of tearing it down.
Somebody has to bring, if you got a checkoff list, Mike has got a checklist, and if we started it right here, and somebody has to bring him the steps. I'm not asking him to be a city inspector. You said we need somebody to have to follow the list. He can follow the list and check it off, and somebody else who's supposed to be doing the other part starts coming in and doing their part. I mean, you know, almost every employee of this city is hired to enforce the rules and regulations of the city of Winfield. That's part of their job when they come to work.
Okay.
They follow the rules of Winfield, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's part of their job. If we ask them to do something and it's part of the guidelines, it's their job to do what we ask them.
So you're saying
Up front, when they took the job, they knew they were expected to follow the guidelines, enforce the guidelines of the city of Winfield.
So you're
regardless of what department it is.
So, but do you feel that I need to choose who I put that on as a mayor, or do you think the council needs to vote that I put that? Because here's what I don't want to happen. You put me that authority for me to appoint somebody to do it. I don't want it to come back where they've talked to a council member and saying that wasn't in their job description, and it come back to that because I appointed them to do it, that wasn't the right thing to do. Because everything that every decision that I make and try to put on anybody, I try to bring before this council, let it be a joint discussion. I don't try to make that decision myself. Because y'all said it, and I carry it out.
Does their job description not say enforce the rules and regulations of the city of Winfield?
I don't know about that.
Need to find somebody to touch. If they don't, we need to put it in the job description.
How many members is on that board, the Bateman board? The council has already, I think, voted to try to hire an inspector per issue that we have for somebody that's qualified for condemning a structure, or whatever, saying it's structurally unsound. To try to get a qualified person, I guess, to say that position, that structure's not sound, and sign off on it saying that it's not sound. Because we talked with Alan before with the fire chief, and I don't think he felt comfortable making that call.
Well, on that particular issue of a house not being safe, I think we need somebody that has certification to make that. So yes, hiring somebody on an individual basis of that subject, yes, you should hire somebody.
This situation is different. It just needs to be cleaned up.
Right.
Like, that does not have to be an inspector or somebody like that. That just needs to be cleaned up. And we send out letters all the time for people to cut their grass or to, so who does that? Sandy. Cause like if somebody abandons their house and their grass is like up to the windows, we can send out letters.
So the clerk is on this board, but on this particular board, there's a liaison for the clerk. Cause most of the ordinances read the clerk, unless you designate a liaison. So Sandy's the person that does this. A lot of times it falls in her zoning or with the business license. She sends out the notices of several, and it was this council, I believe, that voted to hire on an individual
It was.
basis
If
to,
we needed an
to call in
inspector.
an inspector or a contractor or whoever was needed. If the house is falling in and it gets to that point where we wanna condemn it, then it goes to Todd. And there is a procedure before you get to the
Do y'all have an ordinance,
condemnation of it.
do y'all have an ordinance in place that would cover what we're discussing?
To have places cleaned up, we do.
Place is cleaned up now, you know, for animals, the thing
Well, we
is,
start with
the
sending a
health
letter.
department would be the first place. But when you start, wanting people to
Well,
put up animals, we gotta have somewhere to put them, and we gotta have somebody to get them. And you can't send a fire or policeman out there to get wild pigs or whatever it is that they have, I don't know.
well, you have to give someone an option or a chance to, I don't know if we've even sent them a letter to asking them to clean it up. I don't even know if that's been done yet. That's the first step.
2 letters.
You know, I don't know.
There's some
2 letters.
numbers on the
I don't know, Sandy would be best
tell them that.
able to answer, because that's been something she's been involved with her position, and following whatever the different steps in the process, she would be more knowledgeable on that.
I mean, I've done it several times, cause I done it when I was in that position. But there is different steps for the animals, the wild animals at that.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if that ordinance.
we send the police down there and say, you can't do this, you can't do this, then what are we gonna do with the animals?
We've run
Pick
into,
them up,
we've run
we pick
into
them up,
that.
what are we gonna do with
We've
them?
run into
We
it
pick them up,
several
they're ours.
We run into it.
We're
Well,
responsible
but
for them, so
Hamilton
where we
ran
gonna,
into
where
the
we
same
gonna put
thing.
them?
See, I don't know if the
What
ordinance he's talking about is very clear on about
All
animals.
those animals and the.
I don't know that there's a
who
clear
was it that came
ordinance
in and
about
got-
how to handle these animals.
Yeah,
So Hamilton has 2 better options about,
cause they had something very similar happen not too long ago.
they also have like a very active humane society, the animal control, I'm not sure what they call it.
Cause they came in, I can't think of the name of the group, they came in and took the animals.
How do you go about that? How do you force somebody to mow their yard? How do you go about?
No, you do
Oh,
it, you
well,
do it when you,
Well,
there's ways to do
if
that.
they don't do it, you do it, you charge it back against them.
Yeah,
We assess it on the lane on their
you
property.
have to pay it.
think
That's
that's
how
one
we,
of the
that's how we did this one
I
time.
mean, yeah, you got to go through the steps, you don't just do that first thing.
We've
Check
done
the
that.
box.
At one point, that's one of the steps.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying there's steps to
Yeah.
do it.
When it gets
The
that,
animals are still a little bit different
It's a little
issue.
different, right?
That's
It's
why
totally different.
Brett,
Very different.
talking about the health department's involved, gonna take care of this, you know, that, I mean, I think the process on that one has been, you know, moving along, it's just not moving at the speed that you'd like to see it move along.
and we've done that, by the time it gets that bad, Todd's usually involved because we're trying to condemn the property.
And we've got, when we're talking about, I mean, we've got the ability to do that. We've got, and we've got, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while and I've slept since then, so, but, we've got a memo and a checklist, and we go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and we can just do it. I mean,
It's in
as
that
long as we
ordinance.
follow, yeah, as long as we follow the rules and the procedure
As long as
properly,
we
we
have
just do it.
documentation of how we did it, and how long we run it, and all this, and, you know, and that's the way, that was the process that we were going through.
Yeah.
And we don't,
And a lot of these things, these boards and these things that we're setting up is they're required that you've got to have that filter between the city and the individual. You've got to have that filter in there because everybody's concerned about due process and their rights. And so the aggrieved person has got to have somewhere they can go to go through this process. So a lot of these things we're setting up require us to board that that person can go to if they've been aggrieved by a decision of the city or of the council.
That's the way it works with the zoning board. You know, when somebody wants something, they've got a zoning issue, they go before that board, and the board tries to make, you know, a decision amongst that board and then bring it to the council for the final decision of what their recommendation is to the council. Correct?
And the real problem is you've got, and it's hard to get people to line up, want to be on that board and do what that board has to do, because they're the ultimate arbiter, and they say, okay, but you do this, we're gonna tear your house down. Or you do this, or we're gonna do that. I mean, it's a small town. A lot of folk, people aren't lining up to say, well, sign me up for that board.
And you wouldn't want, now, that's not to say that a city employee couldn't sign the complaint, they can. But you wouldn't want that city employee signing all of the complaints, cause then you're sending out a little bit of bias, aren't you? Like we're just picking certain ones. But we work with people, I mean, if they're making any attempt at all, cause some people will just have a hard time getting that done.
I think we're in far better shape than we were 3 or 4 years ago.
I know.
Sure, yeah.
But it's been a slow process, it's been a painful process, and we're still working through that, but, this is not one of those things where people wanna just volunteer, hey, sign me up for that one. You know, it's difficult, so.
Okay, anything else, James? We'll see what the health department, how they come out on it, and I'll check back with Sandy and see what process, how many steps we are into that one.
I will make a call tomorrow as well.
Yeah, do that, cause we
Because
do
I know
need to.
there have been 2 trips
Yeah.
down there that nobody would come to the board, and it's not with that agency, it was with DHR. But if we can get in with DHR, there's another concern, so.
Ed, you got any old business?
Entrance to the property at exit 30. I've seen some dirt move, but I haven't seen nothing since.
Yeah, I ain't making excuses for them, but this weather, I seen them move that dirt, and it ain't got dry enough yet. I don't think, again, that they can do it you get 2 days of dry weather and 2 days of rain. But I don't know, James has spoke to him a time or two about it, and I don't know if you've heard anything different.
I know the guy running the bulldozer.
Huh?
I said, I know the guy running the bulldozer, so I'll ask him.
The street/traffic lights where we at on that, I get.
Supposed to be this month.
Get complaints all the time. Nobody knows how to drive.
September was a due date, wasn't it, for them to have them repaired?
Seems like people can't drive without that green area, but anyway.
Just wait till you
Some
get
of them
the
don't
lights back
need
up, watch
to.
what happens.
We'll start all over again.
Start all over again.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna put them up.
I guess maybe it's just me, but if you're not careful when you're traveling east on Old 78, when you get to the normal stopping place where you're used to stopping, you've run too far, you can't even see the light, you got to lean it, because the light's so far back from where you're used to it being.
It's
when
that
you
way,
stop at
going that
normal
way in the
place.
big truck.
Yeah.
You can't, you won't get under it where you can make that turn as quick as you can before the light changes.
But I've done that several times. I'm stopping where I normally stop, then I look, and
Get out.
where's the light?
Just be thankful it's not a four-way stop.
It's this month.
If you're going west at a certain time of evening, you can't see none of the
Can't
lights.
see 'em anyway.
So the decorative streetlights,
Both.
the decorative
Oh,
streetlights have
same.
been pulled out of the
Yeah.
bid, and he's working on getting an independent contractor, local, to do those. Tons of inline electric, merchandise has come in, so I know we're really close.
Yeah, the truck pulled up the last council meeting. Matter of fact, the truck pulled up here that had a load of it.
Yeah, I've seen him out there.
And I have it written down, but The local contractor is gonna work through a electrical contractor to be able to do the work for us.
And they started on the Antique Mall today. If not yesterday, I think started on it.
Yeah, we pretty good at the park. Any issues? I mean, of our.
I gave you the list.
Yeah, there's a list.
Everybody has the list, it's on the table.
Was that time limit to get that done?
There was originally, I believe. It was. It's, well, it's.
You know what?
on-
That's on
yeah.
that other sheet. I guess I read it, that other sheet.
Try to-
Has that changed since this list?
No, sir. That was today, right? Today, this
This
list.
was August 30th that this was sent.
Is this items that the construction people were supposed to do, or is this items that we just kind of want be done? I'm just.
No, this should have been included in the project. I assumed what was going out with the put back.
There's still a $6,000 balance of what we owe that we've held out till that's completed.
One of the, they're all big things, but one of the big things are the plastic cleanouts that were put out. They're just open. You know, you can pour anything down there, put towel or anything down it, it's going straight into the floor. The rainwater's going straight in there, the gravel from the parking lot's going straight in there.
How many of those are there?
There's 4 to 6.
Where's these located? The cleanouts right in the wall, on the floor?
No, they're in the driveway out there.
They're open to the.
Well, I was gonna ask Bobby, the water department's got these metal ones that go down and around, and you pull the cap off of it. Because that's some things that's gonna stand up under traffic, it's metal.
Yeah, but without mine being plastic and not very big, if something heavy runs over it, it goes, it's just that metal down on that plastic. Probably plastic. Could even be better than what's there.
Well, you could make a,
Might be able to block it or something under it, you know.
or you could take
I don't think it's
a
every
18 by 18 inch square of metal, put a hinge door in the middle of it, and take care of it.
We have mailboxes that are in driveways or parking lots that people run over every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, something can be put over.
The plastic's just not trying to break it. They're already broken. They're broken by the first week.
I don't know what was in.
I tell you what you're gonna have to, probably what we need to do is, send a letter. I'll get Andrew, somebody to send a letter to them with a deadline, whatever council says, set a deadline with that, and we'll take the money that we've kept and finished. We'll hire somebody to finish it with the money that we kept. I mean,
I got on that contract, there was some retainers that we can just keep.
Was that contract on this?
So we had to retain.
There should be some kind of retainage in that contract, and typically you just keep that retainage
Yeah,
if they
that's
don't
what
come back.
we've done.
And you hire
Is that-
somebody to do it.
that's what we've done, is held that money back.
Well, if it's gonna be over 6,000?
I mean, I looked at it, I don't see how it could be over $6,000. Huh? I don't think it would be $6,000.
They're not waiting on any of the parts or fixtures or anything like that, it's all that, they're ready to be put in.
A lot of it's subcontract stuff, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Subcontract stuff, subcontractors issue.
Another thing is, they sawed the doors off rather than taking them out and fixing them, and it's just jagged, it just looks terrible. And those are interior doors.
Can you discuss that?
Oh, you can take it down, sand, refishing,
What's your list, what you got?
The old armory. Did we ever get the key to it?
I've got it.
Cause, are we gonna get to like look in it, see in
You
it?
want to, just tell me, I'll get, I'll bring the key, I got the key in the truck.
And then, I know at the school board meeting, they approved what we had talked about. Do we need to do anything else to get that going, or is that already
I
started?
had that down under my old business and failed to notice it a while ago, but yeah, since you brought it up, we need to move forward with the officer hire. The school board agreed to pay the figures that we told them that it was gonna cost to pay for that one police officer. Since they've agreed to do that, it's my recommendation to the council that we move forward with letting Brett post the position, or I don't know if we've already posted that position for 2 hires to move forward with that, since the schools pay their part. I need to ask for a motion, I guess, to move forward with that. Ed, second by Keith and Tim, if you're all in favor, go ahead and post that.
Yes.
Brett. My stomach or thunder?
That's thunder.
Yeah. I didn't stay long enough to get a thunderstorm.
I thought it was my stomach.
Maybe my stomach.
Things hard, I couldn't see, you know.
Keith, you got anything?
Well, I have one thing.
I forgot, I didn't give you time.
That's okay.
Apologize for that.
The first time when we got our first round of the CARES Act money, we did a disbursement for the employees, and we had discussed that we might do a second round when we got the second disbursement, and we did. So I would like to discuss doing that, just like we did the first time. And then I know we had talked about possibly doing direct deposits with the for payroll, and I know that's kind of been brought up again. And if we decide to do something like that, this will be the time to do it.
Now, one would give me a little bit behind of doing a direct deposit for payroll. Is it?
Well, Angie could probably give you more of the
Is
benefits.
that something you feel like the city needs to do? Is that, as an employee, request that, or tell me where we're at with direct
I mean,
deposit?
I've had some request that.
I think a lot of places are going to direct deposits.
It's just easier.
Does everybody have a checking account?
So it's easier for the people that work shift work for certain. The night shift or the off days rotate. I've got the details of how it's set up in there. I mean, most people have a checking account.
We need to take a poll maybe from the employees.
I think you can do either one.
That's the way we do it.
Do what, Ed?
I said if you only pay by direct deposit, everybody gets a checking account.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
That's become the norm everywhere.
I don't think we need to have an option. That'd be too much to keep up with. It needs to be all or one.
They're gonna include the council and,
I mean, y'all are kinda like payables at the first of the month, there's 6 checks, so, but yeah, you could do yours.
You said that on direct deposit.
Yeah.
Would be perfect, would be great.
but now we need to look
Then
at the
Janet would
figures.
get it.
Keith
doesn't want Janet to get his.
You know, I don't, I need to know, we need to discuss what it's gonna cost to do that payroll,
Probably cheaper than buying this paper.
So most places email you.
Oh, we would know the exact totals from when we did it the first time.
It'll be the same.
It'd be the same, because we had discussed doing the same thing.
What's our balance in that?
It's over 7.
Cause I was going to, since you brought that up about spending that money, I would like to see this, we agreed to do the $300,000 to you're gonna take the $300,000 that we agreed to give, the water department's gotta come out of that, so that puts you down to $448, about $450,000 left, out of the CARES Act money. I would like to, I was gonna bring it up to the council before, there's a piece of property up, north on 129, south of the hotel there, that, I've been working with, NACOG and different ones trying to get a grant to try to develop that for housing in there. And I know that we could use this CARES Act money for water and sewer, I think between 60 and 80 acres there. Possibly develop, get that, we'll get water and sewer in there for housing on that property. I'd like to maybe get an estimate about what that would cost to do that, before we, I know that qualifies, would qualify.
It would qualify if we granted the money to the water board and then they, as far as the city actually doing it, no. We can't, we're not qualified to do that work. The water board, we talked, you're on the board, have them get some kind of estimates for kind of what it would run, and then we discussed granting them that much money to do it with.
The city can't pay for water and sewer.
It's not ours.
We've paid for, the city has paid for sewer, water and sewer lines being run before for a business. The city's paid for it before, and we received it. We had, for that business to be there, we had to agree to put the water and sewer out there, and we paid. We've done that several times, haven't we, Bobby? The cities, the city actually did a CDBG grant for water and sewer at the Tiffin, because the city did that and then turned it over to the water department. Correct? Ain't that how I got messed up and did that? Jump went around everybody and did.
So where are you talking about?
It's that land that's for sale right there behind the hotel.
Behind the,
Between Britt's Industrial Park. You got it pulled up. How many acres?
okay, so I've got, where's that hotel? Right, there's the hotel. So you're talking about between the hotel and Brilliance?
Yeah.
This one right here?
Yeah.
74
South of
acres?
hotel. North of Britt.
74 acres? What are they wanting for it? Have they posted?
I ain't talking about us buying it, I'm talking about us furnishing the sewer water.
Oh.
If we get a contract, if we can get somebody to, I've been asked, which I've been working on it, and I told them if the city could get water and sewer in there, cause we in dire need of housing, and if we can get contractors to build houses in there, if there's water and sewer in there, I think it could. Plus, we need those housetops. We're out of housing. They get calls every day for housing, and that's what I'd like to see us get that developed up there. That'd help. That would help.
Say a contractor, how many houses they gonna build in there? So they're spending, cause it's gonna take a lot of money.
As long as it's a contractor that would,
I'm telling you, contractors are looking for a place to build. They don't have nowhere to build. And everybody from the northern states and western states is moving south. And I mean, it's a lot of, the stuff goes on the market and they're buying it sight unseen just to get out from where they're at. And I see it's a good opportunity for us to take advantage and not let it slip us by. We have money that we can spend to help develop it to get housing in there.
That one inside the city limits.
It's in
I
our city
guess
limits.
it's considered, yeah.
I mean, I feel like if we had housing starting there, it would make that whole section of interstate help get it developed. If we had rooftops in there. That's something to, think about, but we'll get some figures, look at the figures on what you were talking about and then kind of.
Well, yeah, because Angie should have them, but it should be the exact same as it was last time.
You know, it's 20 something, but I can't remember exactly. Right at it's over 20,000, but I don't think it's any more than 25.
Oh, I think it was in the $60,000 or $70,000.
I was thinking it was 70 or 80, but.
I don't think so.
Here's that.
Per payroll.
Payroll.
20 something.
Employee CARES Act.
Full payroll,
Mm-hmm.
like 20 per payroll.
So that's about.
Oh, that's
It's a
about
little-
80.
it's a
That's
little
what
more.
I was thinking it was 80.
You got on the dot, on the bottom,
Yeah.
nice, each separate number. What's it gonna cost out of it? Be
I said
80,000.
per payroll.
Oh, it is.
Was it last year?
Last year.
January, or.
But it's actually a little bit more than that.
Next year,
Payroll tax.
because the taxes are gonna kill them if you don't.
That ain't my problem. Ain't my problem.
I mean, I'll take my chances if you want to go ahead and pay us.
Conflict of interest. Is that all you got?
Well, that's all I will bring up.
Since it's coming a storm out here,
Bring it up.
you know, back after the tornado, we talked about putting storm shelters on the east side of town. We got one on this side. I noticed it's got a fence built around it.
No, they got a fence built around their property and that's sitting in the middle of it. With a gate there.
We own 1.7 acres right there
Yeah, city does.
with a storm shelter on it.
Yep, with a gate, so they got access to it.
Gate's locked.
That gate in front of it is locked. I've been in touch with the EMA, which I have been talking with Alan, but everybody knows, which I like for everybody. I forgot to mention that. I'd like for everybody to remember Alan and his family with the loss of his wife, but Alan's had a lot on him. But I've been in touch with them about us relocating that storm shelter to a different location on city property. Because the issue we had was with Tiffin, they've run out of room. That's a temporary fix for them. They're looking at expanding south from where that road goes up by where H.E. Bostic's place was. They're looking at expanding south. They're getting bids and applying for a grant now to go further south to increase that parking, which that would take that
Right there.
and release that where they could. Not 1.1.17.
0.17 acres.
Is that what that's?
It's 60 by 125.
What that's saying?
About where that sits.
That's, yeah, it's set.
Where I'm getting at, if we do have another bad storm, you can't get in there.
I don't think that'd be an issue. I think because it's just like we have to open a storm shelter. We have to open that during the storm day. When there's a storm warning, we have to go open this building, and that's the same way it's gonna be with that. We're gonna have to have it where it's open during the storm, when there's a storm coming, when the storm alert's gonna be done the same way. But I think what you need to also look into is, do you realize that when they put that storm shelter in, there was actually two put in? Do you know where the other one is?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like for you to try to find that other one, because there were two put in when that one was put in.
The same place or somewhere different?
It's a different location. So when you find out where that second one is, then I think we need to bring it up for another discussion.
Well, all I'm saying, why did they build a fence around on the city property?
They run that fence down the road about on the part that's in part of the city property.
Well,
As
city
far as
property
fencing that,
comes
they got
to the road.
one section. They got one section of fence right there with a gate on it that will be, the gate's open just like this is open during the storm shelter. If you'd like for me to have Tiffin and some of them that's, representing for Tiffin come to a council, I'll put it on the agenda and you tell them you want the fence moved.
What I'm trying to get at, who gave them authority?
I told them they could put in that fence through there, right down the side of that road.
You think it's okay? Okay.
I don't think we got a problem with it. They got over 600 units sitting out there. They're doing 5 units a day, and they're employing over 300 people, fixing to add another 40 to 60 people, employees. And I mean, they've asked, they've contributed. I mean, it's unreal amount that they've contributed to the city.
Do you think you should let the city people know that there's gonna be a fence around it and it will be unlocked when the storm comes?
I think if they get out there and it ain't unlocked, I think there's a problem.
So who is supposed to unlock it? I didn't know somebody was supposed to go unlock it.
The fire chief will have a key just like he's got out here.
Does their security people have a key to it?
They do. They got 24-hour, 7 days a week security system out there, security people that's there that has a key to the gate. I mean, I made sure of all that there would be access in it, and I told them they had to be a gate right there in the center of it, and there is a gate because you've done checked it and said it's locked.
It ain't in the center.
Sir?
It ain't in the center.
Well, it might be off just a little bit. But it's a gate, and it's actually 2 gates. There's a gate there, and then the guardhouse is sitting right here, and then there's a gate right there. There's a gate right here and a gate right here, and there's a security guard at that place 24/7. There's 3 security guards at that place 24/7.
I don't think there's that many on night shift.
Well, there's at least 1. And I know 2 or 3 during the day.
Yeah, they got more during the day than what they do at night.
I don't think it's gonna be an issue to get to the storm shelter. But I would like for you to find that second one. There was 2 granted. It's been there 30 years that the city can move it to another location. But what I would like to see the city do is add 2 storm shelters around Meadowwood. On that end of town, we've got several, down behind Walmart. We got those people live across from Marion Molden. We got the people live there. We got Meadowwood that has Brentwood, Meadowwood, all that in there has no storm protection without coming to town. And this down the center of town this one's covered up. And there's a parking issue that we have here. And then up here north of town by Crossroads, all the housing that's in there, Gray Circle, all the houses in there, all the the homes that Warren them's got in past Crossroads there on the left, and then all the housing right there around the baseball field and different things, and not counting the housing authority here and the housing authority there. We don't have nowhere near the shelters that we need in Winfield for taking care of the citizens. I mean, I feel like it needs to be a shelter that's built that would hold at least 100 people when we do it. It don't need to be 20 or 30 people, or it don't need to be some kind of small something. It needs to be something that's justifiable. But if the city does it, it has to be on city property when we put a shelter in. You can't put it on private property. The problem is the city don't really own any property other than behind Miriam Bowling, where we've got the 20+ acres. There's about 14 acres that we got left over by Greens Mill. I mean,
How hard would it be to dig it up?
a grant.
No, how hard would it be to dig that up and move it somewhere? What about, I mean, I know now we have the old armory and then the school owns the Santel building. They might let us put one out there. I don't know if that would benefit people being all the way out
Armory's
there.
got a basement, don't it?
I'm not sure.
I think it does.
They don't have a basement in that armory, does it?
Does it not?
But it's got safe rooms, I'd call it in it, but, I mean, I think that, since you brought it up, I think that's something that really needs to be looked into, is the amount of protection that we've got. We don't have it. If you don't, there's a lot of people who live north of town, or there's a lot of people who live west of town over here that, I mean, after experiencing working in Hackleburg, seeing what happened up there, I mean, that housing authority actually, in the newer part of the housing authority had a storm shelter on the site. They've got room for a storm shelter up here, between the post office and behind where Debbie lives, there's room behind there for a decent sized shelter.
You'll have this property where the sewer building's at. But the,
Shelters, how many people go to the shelters we got out? 12, 14?
That's what I'm thinking, 15 people at max.
The shelters that we've got, the two that we've got, they hold about 12, 14 people. Be tight. They're small.
That's what I'm saying, they're not, I wouldn't even, I know anything, a hole in the ground is better than nothing, but that's about all that is.
What about the land still back behind Dollar General?
We got a spot there, right behind, between Dollar General and Abby Nicole's building. I don't know the story behind that, why there's a spot of land there, but there are right across from Dodge storage building.
Run into is parking.
Yeah.
Does the shelter, you said the shelter has to be on city property. Does the available parking have to be on city property? Or can it be on?
Park Street, I mean, if storm's coming on.
I mean, we would have this property when they cleared that building off, but the problem is, a lot of people don't have transportation. Well, a lot of people don't have the transportation to get there. That's the problem.
Who owns,
A lot of people don't have the transportation to get there, like we need to have
Dr.
it close
Reed's
enough they
old
can walk.
office? Dr. Reed's old office behind the hospital, because on here it says, the Healthcare Authority of Winfield. So, does the city own that?
The hospital does.
Because nobody's using that building right now, so could we not do something out there? And that's right there by, the housing authority. And that would
I
get.
think, we need to look and see, it's like down here at Bobo, that, storm shelter they got down there at Bobo. They've got one, Fayette County stepped up and did real well, I think, because they put those storm shelters in key, there's one at Hogleful, they got one down there at Hogleful, they've got one at Bobo, they've got one at Kirkland, I think at Kirkland, they've got one at Wayside. Fayette County went in there and set them shelters, put those shelters where the Fayette County community people could use it. I don't know.
About everywhere there's voting precinct, I think,
Yeah.
where they did that.
Mhm. And I mean, I just feel like that we need to try to look into places and how, and what, and see what we can't put in for it. This is not enough. Everybody don't have a basement, but several people do have it. Some people's not gonna get into a safe place, but there are several elderly people that needs help getting to a safe place.
Basement don't do no good at Hackleburg.
No, or you.
Basement wouldn't do no good at Hackleburg.
Basement.
Or when you, and I know a lot of y'all may not be old enough to remember you.
Suck you out of it. Suck you out of it. My basement has got a storm
we needed, a location that had all these amenities that could do all this, do all that, because you spend a day. Okay, I mean, when you knew bad weather was coming, you'd leave your house and had to spend a day somewhere you didn't know. Now, I mean, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
They folks that spend all
I understand they do because they don't have, they're going back and forth. But you know, we used to go, we went from tornado warnings for the northwest part of the state to tornado warnings for Marion County to tornado warnings for this polygon. I mean, that's what we respect the polygon. That's what you hear, okay? But I mean, you know, you don't need a shelter that's got beds and this, that, and the other. You need a shelter that can give you 15 minutes or 20 minutes of safety that you can go through. So build those like they did down there, just those concrete that just have lots and lots of seats that can accommodate a bunch of people. Just give them a safe place to go. That's what we need. I mean, we need safe places to go.
You could buy just a small section there off the side. Well, open area on either side. Either side.
right down here.
You could use the park, the parking.
Those in the food store.
Yeah.
My thing is, this area right here where our Bridget's office used to be, there's 3 acres there. And if it's owned by the hospital, I mean, it's not technically owned by the city. And it's got a huge parking lot. It's right there by the housing authority. It's real close to Meadowwood. It's right there by Shadowwood Apartments. It's right there by those apartments.
You know, that one is not, I mean, they're not attractive, they're just, the one in Russell. Get that on the side of the road in Russell, as you're going out of Russell. It's big, looks like a big concrete Quonset hut, long and skinny, but and it's just seats. I mean, it can hold 100 people. We need things like that for people that don't have basements, that don't have shelter. We need things like that in Winfield. Yeah, we need that in our community. We've got those two that are small, and one of them, the one north of town, I know where it is, mate. I know exactly where it is. And you better get there early, because if you don't, the family that lives on the property where it's located will have it full up, you know. So, just be honest. Call it what it is. No? Basically, you're right.
Keith, did you have anything? I mean, I think we need to look into that, maybe we'll try to, do a little checking and see what is available for us, maybe getting grant money to help put shelters and I mean, this here was done with a grant.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just got a slight warning the last time that we got what little bit of damage we got. I mean, if it comes through that path, it could take the whole city out. I mean, and the people with it. I mean, that's. I think we need to look into it. But Keith, do you have anything else?
I believe that's it.
I got another thing I'd like to discuss with the council, because sometimes the question comes to me. This year I want to include the council without me making the decision, without the council being involved in it, but I'm gonna make a recommendation to the council, because I know it's gonna come to me about Christmas decorations, Christmas lights, when to have the Christmas lights put out. Everybody knows when Veterans Day is. It's November the 11th. We put the veterans banners out for Veterans Day for it to be on November the 11th. I don't think that we need to put Christmas decorations out with the veterans. There's a purpose that we put those veterans flag out, and that's to honor in respect to the people that serve our country, the veterans. And I think that we don't need to cover it up or put Christmas lights and stuff over our veterans banners. Main Street furnishes all the banners and the lights, and Main Street knows and has a kind of a schedule when they put those banners and things out for different occasions and different things. Just like right now, we're supposed to go ahead and put the Mule Day banners up for flags on all the decorative poles because Mule Day's coming up. I'd like to see us set because the chamber's gonna come to us about getting Rob and them to go ahead and put the Christmas lighting and decorations and things up. I'd like to try to do it right after Thanksgiving, before December, the 1st of December, whatever, for the Christmas lighting and the Christmas decorations. That way we can we'll have Mule Day out, we'll have the veterans out of the way. The fall, they have fall banners and stuff that they put up. We take the fall banners down and put full-blown Christmas decorations, right after Thanksgiving, and let them go, because they go all the way through all of December. They'll be up November, the latter part of November, December, and then half the month, if not nearly a full month of January. There's a lot of wear and tear on them, and I don't really think that they need to be up no 4 months. I mean, I just want the councils to, okay when I okay it, because it'll come to me and I ask Rob to do it, and I'd like to be able to tell him to do it after Thanksgiving.
So November 28th?
That would be my recommendation also.
Council's okay with me doing it, let's do it after Thanksgiving. We'll let Rob pick it, he likes to do stuff usually on Wednesday or something after
So it'll be
Thanksgiving.
November 30th? The next day is December 1st?
I think Thanksgiving's a trigger for people, mostly to start putting up their decorations in their house.
Mhm.
I think it is in my house.
I just don't really think we need them up the first part of November. If council's okay with it, that's the only thing I have. Nobody else got any other old business? I'm gonna ask for a motion to pay the bills if nobody's got a question about what's on bill pay. Ask for a motion to pay them. All in favor? Next item on the agenda is the adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
State Bank and Trust has been invested in Winfield and Marion County for more than a century, and today we remain deeply committed to meeting the needs of local families and businesses with excellent financial products and friendly down-home service.
But more than that, we're dedicated to supporting the growth, success, and well-being of our community as a whole. Because when it comes right down to it, there's nothing more important than community.
And just like our outstanding city officials, police, and fire departments, you can count on State Bank and Trust to help make Winfield and Marion County a great place to live for everyone who calls this area home.
Let Pollard Motors in Winfield assist you with all of your automotive needs. With over 50 years in business, our company is built by trust and integrity and Larry's love for the people. Stop by and see Heath or Chip, or call us today at 205-487-3020.
Lee Hines here, owner-operator of Alexander's Heating and Air Conditioning. We've been family owned and operated since 1954, proudly serving Marion, Fayette, and Lamar County. We are Carrier Factory authorized dealers, but service all makes and models. We specialize in residential and light commercial HVAC systems. So as we get ready to enter another hot Alabama summer, please remember Alexander's Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs.
Hey, this is Eric Simmons at Furniture Depot in Guin. We've been here in Guin for 10 years serving the needs of families like yours with furniture from Ashley, Serenity Sleep, $1 Million Rustic. We have stores in Guin and Fayette. So come see me.
Crackers. We also have a good selection of barbecue grills, so come see us. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chris Nelson, owner of Nelson Boys Paint and Body LLC, located State Highway 129, Winfield, Alabama. At Nelson Boys Paint and Body, our goals are to meet your expectations in repairing or painting your vehicle. Stop by for a free estimate. Our services include glass replacement, small and large auto repairs, and we have top-notch paint booths for your painting needs. We take all insurance and can save you on your deductible. Come see us and let our over 40 years experience work for you. We're here to assist you and to help you on all your auto body and paint needs. Come see us.
Plan your perfect stay at the Holiday Inn in Guin off of I-22. Enjoy our amazing on-site restaurant and bar with a lunch buffet every Sunday. Relax with a quick getaway with your family and make a splash in our outdoor pool. Book your next event with us. Call us at 205-468-4625.